everybody, and welcome to the Swanton Enhancement Committee meeting. This evening is March 14th, Pie Day. Thank you for everybody who brought pie to share. So please help yourself to pie throughout the meeting. We will help ourselves to pie after the meeting because no one needs to see us eating on camera.
And there should be a special prize for somebody knows what comes after 3.164. Anybody? Huh? There we go.
Everybody gets a piece of pie. All right. So, reviewing the agenda. Does anybody have any adjustments to the agenda on the steering committee?
The only thing that I thought was missing, and maybe it'll come up here somewhere, is we have nothing about the eclipse, and it happens before we meet again.
Okay.
And I bet there's a lot
Sure.
happening around.
There might be some.
We
Yeah.
have some stuff.
And I know at our last meeting, there was a conversation going on that Bill Sheets and Abby and Nicole were gonna go on a call, and Siobhan, maybe? I don't know. I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah, okay.
But we'll add it. Okay.
Oh, that was the safety management one that they were talking about, I think.
Oh, okay, all right. Any public comment?
Can I add something?
Sure.
To the agenda? Just a quick conversation about the focus of outdoor markets. I'd like to talk to the whole group about it while we're all here.
Okay. Do you feel like you can talk about that in your communications stakeholder piece, or do you want to add it to the agenda?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, perfect. Is that it? All right. So Joel,
Yes.
financial report? Oh wait, we didn't even do the minutes. Okay, minutes from our February 1st meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes as presented.
So Molly Lambert makes the motion to,
I'll second it.
Joel second, I think.
Yes.
All approve, say aye.
Well, wait, can we have a discussion?
You sure can.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented, except there are a few typos that need to be straightened out, and they're just typos, so they aren't significant.
In the new one, this is the new updated one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yep,
The one that was on the table?
yep.
Yeah, there's still typos in it.
Oh, okay, sorry. I might have not sent, so we met as an executive committee and I sent some of the edits to her before this meeting.
Great.
But if you have other ones, please let us know.
It's mostly just a misspelling of Felicia,
Oh,
and
Felicia.
Bestie.
I think I fixed that.
Anyway, it's just something that can be, it's just quickly corrected. It's not substantive and it does nothing to
Oh, really?
taint the content of the minutes.
I mean, I am the best. Don't worry, my husband spells my name Bestie still. We've been together for 29 years.
He'll learn.
No, he won't. Maybe now that it's on public camera. All right, any more discussion? All right, meetings are approved. Our minutes are approved, sorry. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the financials. Joel Clark is going to present the financials.
Okay, this budget is through 29 February. I did get the statement, so it all verifies with the bank statement. Unrestricted, there's a balance of $11,482.96. Restricted, there's a balance of $33,919.21. As I've noted before, there's 3,800 committed to the LVRT. what I should have said under the unrestricted, there was no activity since the last report. Restricted, I gave you the balance already. The activity since the last report is the beautification committee. I don't know if they have a money-making machine or what it is, but I deposited $1,200 in donations, and I have another $1,450 to donate for a total of $2,650 since the last meeting. Now, I know they put out a letter asking for donations, but that's just great what they're doing. So again, that's
The moneymakers right there.
so by category, the bikes and signs, when you take out the 3,800 committed, there's a balance of 8,895. At some point, we should just move that into another, probably substance misuse. Capacity building, we have 1477.25. Substance misuse, we have 1625.61. Beautification with a 1,200, that doesn't include the 1,450, which I haven't deposited yet. There's $8,112.40. Marble Mill, $815. And then there's the CD for beautification at 18,000. So those are the numbers.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joel.
Any questions?
Nice job, beautification.
Nice job all around.
So we are going to discuss a little bit about community economic health, and Darcy Benoit was going to come this evening and kind of talk about what was happening with our downtown businesses and how we can support them and what they're working on moving forward. But her daughter had a band concert tonight, so she is there. So Molly had met with Darcy, so she's going to report out on that for us this evening.
I am, and here is Darcy's report. And what we talked about doing and thought would be helpful to our newly elected officials, as well as the steering committee and the group as a whole, is to kind of take a look at our downtown vitality, our little village center vitality as a whole, not to look at one particular business or another, but the group as a whole. And also that the last time we shared information with Darcy about that, they did some promoting around Small Business Saturday. And so I thought it would be good to report back on Small Business Saturday. And Darcy provided me with the information that what happened during Small Business Saturday is they got together, they did a $500 promotion as a group. It involved some advertising in print. I don't believe they used social media. I'm thinking that it was primarily print. They may have done some social media. I'm sorry, I'm not up to what the content was or how they spent their money. Point being, they did very well on Small Business Saturday. The promotion was a success, and they had increased business that day. What's happened since is not the optimistic glowing report that you would hope for, but anyone who's been involved in retail knows that January, February, and March are, we used to call them great planning months. Well, in this case, what's really difficult for these folks is most of them are singly owned and they don't have any employees. And so that effort to get together and plan for what comes next is very much stymied. They're trying to pay attention to their own, business that is very slow in January, February, and March. And they begin to think, well, who comes to Swanton anyway? And at any rate, so it's a little bit of a stall right now. And so I suggested to Darcy, well, another thing before we get to the suggestion to Darcy is just coincidentally, I believe, we had a call from Ed Daniels of the Planning Commission inviting the downtown retailers to meet with the Planning Commission on April 10th. Is he okay? He's fine. If he's coughing, he's fine.
Bring some water.
Okay. At any rate, that Ed Daniels called and invited the retailers to come to the Planning Commission on April 10th because they're going to be reviewing the business portion of the town plan. And they would very much like to have the retailers present. So Hank and I, unfortunately, are out of town at that time. I know Betsy intends to go, but I think it would be great if someone would take the lead and make a personal invitation, other than Darcy, who's always knocking at their door, and Darcy perhaps, to go to that meeting, you know, to have that one time where they feel like they're being invited, they can download some of the things they're noticing, could be helpful to them as well as helpful to the economic vitality overall. And so that's the third thing. And then the fourth thing is I suggested to Darcy if we can get some energy among the downtown retailers, and sticking to the retailers right now, although we have an inventory of downtown, including the library, the banks, the stores, of course, Ace Hardware, of course. We have a strong inventory of services in this center. Let me get to the point. And the point being, if we could have a proposal, just like we ask anyone, we being SEP, if we could invite a proposal from a representative portion of that group for an advertising or whatever promotion they want to do that they think may work to boost their to boost their businesses at this point, that they should bring it to us and let us consider it just like we would consider any presentation from a group that is trying to boost the economy or the culture of the community or the health of the community. So that's my report. I don't know what you think about providing a boost to a group of people who are working in our downtown.
Molly, do you know about the formal ball that this...
Oh, the Divine Treasures is doing.
Right.
Yep.
They sell formal
Yeah.
gowns and shoes, and they're having a ball. Is it this Saturday or next Saturday?
It's the 25th, right?
I think it's next week.
Next week.
At the
VFW.
VFW.
Yes.
I thought that was a great idea on their part.
Yep.
Nice idea. And that's what you'll get. You'll get individual nice ideas, and they'll work for a certain business. And what you hope for, of course, is something that brands the entire village or the entire village, and town area as a place to go to and a place to want to live. It's spring is coming. We've got a lot of things that are coming our way. I think, anyway, that's the thought I was discussing with Darcy.
So Darcy did have a few like attachments that she put in the email to Molly and I about maybe some resources to maybe start working on that kind of shows the assets of our community.
That's what I'm-
And
yeah.
not just, because now we have the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail. And then, you know, we have our businesses, we have possibly 2 new businesses coming into the community. We have things in our community that I don't think people really know about. And I think we need to be better about sharing that information and getting the information out. And this is a conversation we've probably had for 10 years. And we are making small steps to, you know, coming together and figuring out a way to do that. But one of the things was like a brochure or some information that,
St. Albans
Yeah.
brochure. It's beautiful. I picked one up just because it was pretty the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's
Yeah.
so much in here.
Me too.
Siobhan?
I talked about, you know, one of those tourist maps. When
Yeah.
you go into any of those main towns, they have that map that's the same. It's the same setup and template, but your town. Maybe
Right.
that's something we could look into.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that usually says we're a tourism place. We have this map.
Yep.
One of the things too we mentioned, I think when we were having our conversation back and forth, is that let's say there are 20 people in this room, and we all have really good ideas about what would make this a successful outcome. If it comes from the retailers, the business people, those who are in the business, it really gives it some oomph, you know? Rather than something being done for you know the whole thing. Rather than something being done for someone, it's being done with, in concert, in support of, you know, we hear you, and we want to further your efforts. And
Oh, go ahead.
and Darcy, bless her, has also signed up to be on the chamber board because she wanted to make sure she didn't leave any rocks unturned, you know, in terms of economic development. So anyway, it's an idea, and it's something that I would love to invite them to do, to submit a proposal. If they have a plan, submit a proposal. Let us review it like we would any event or any, you know, we're not talking about one business. We're talking about a group of economic developers.
I think we also need to remember that a lot of our businesses are privately owned and operated, so
Oh,
them
sure.
trying to get out and, you know, come to a meeting is hard for them. You know, they're running their business on their own. So I think just meeting them where they're at is important, just making that, taking that opportunity just to walk into the business, ask how they're doing, what do they need. And it doesn't just have to fall on us as a CP. I think it needs to fall on us as a community, just to show up, walk in the doors. I mean, they're happy to see you regardless. If you buy anything, it's just nice to walk in and just see what they have, and then just promote what you see. But if we want them to stay here, we have to make sure that we're supporting them as a community, because we want to have that vibrant community that we've all worked so hard to get. And I think we can work on maybe putting together a brochure. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna take some time and planning. But maybe that's something maybe the communication committee can start the process on, and we can support it along the way. And if our local businesses do have wants and needs or please come to us and ask questions or email us or let Darcy know. I know that one of the things they were looking for a grant for ADA accessibility to their businesses, and I know we do have a grant writer in the village that maybe if Heidi finds a grant that has to do with ADA, I know there's got to be some out there, just share them with us so we can share them with the business owners also. And while I'm like looking at you, Bill, what is happening with the downtown revitalization project?
Does, Madam Chair, will this count against my 2 minutes?
Nope.
Okay, thank you, then I'll take my time. So it's very much in the works, but like any long-term project in the state of Vermont, it comes with permitting delays. So this summer now and early fall will be a walk through the downtown to explain to folks what is going to happen next. So we're talking about the extension of the sidewalks, one-ways, pedestrian crossing, bikeability, as far as $375,000 will take you, which is not very far. And we're already in the next iteration of $600,000 requests for grants, and all of these phases are generally 3 to 5 years from planning to placement. So it is a ways away, but we are actively engaged and working on that with our vendor of choice. Our engineer is BHP.
Is there any room in there for the ADA accessibility to our local businesses?
There's some. So we are currently working with the property owner on the left side of Merchants Row to put a temporary ramp there. Talking with Darcy, we know that we're looking for funding for her through ADA for some type of ramp in front of her business. Mm-hmm. And the long-term plan on that side is to literally make only one lane, do away with that left turn lane. Mm-hmm. It's one lane, bump that out, make it a much more effective streetscape. That's 6 to 9 years away.
Right.
Every section of funding is 600 grand.
Yeah. Infrastructure is a process, and it takes 5 to 10 years to actually implement.
Right. Yeah. So it is. It seems like it's a glacial pace, but we're in the queue in that and many other areas. And if you don't start things today, they don't come to fruition later down the road.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to add? Any suggestions?
I do have one.
You do, Debbie. Go ahead.
I do. I'm not sure if you've ever contacted United Way.
Yep.
Because I was in a couple months ago a Zoom meeting with them through AARP, and it was for a project in your community. It's nothing that fit what we needed, but it would like maybe upgrade an unsafe crosswalk or a little park or handicap accessible. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure exactly when that deadline was, but it was over a couple $1 million that they were sharing with the state of Vermont. So that's something that you may want to look into. The fit didn't fit me, but it sounds like it would fit what you're looking for.
Okay. Thank you, Debbie.
You're welcome.
So just to wrap up, Betsy, Crystal, should we encourage our retailers? It would give them a project, it would give them something to work on, to put together a proposal of some sort with a budget and request some funds from this organization, or does that not? What do you think? Kind of what I'm trying to get at.
I think that's a great idea, Molly. 9 of those businesses across the road are owned by women who have a reputation for working well together.
I mean, it's a start. Let's see what they need and
Are we gonna start with like limit type of thing? Cause like you have to say how much we're looking to help you with. Cause we don't want them to like say a certain number and then us to come back and be like, no, that's too much, because you know what I mean?
well, the proposal can start, like, if they bring us a proposal and it's something we can't help them with, we can reach out to our municipalities and other local community members to see if there's some support there, and then go from there. Kristen?
Is it worth finding a convener to help with this? Because you just pointed out that all of these businesses have to run their business. And is there an opportunity for somebody in this group or elsewhere, I don't know who the who is, to actually say, okay, here are some ideas, I'm gonna help you shepherd you through this process, and at the end of this, and it should take more than a couple of weeks or a couple of meetings, because like Billy said, this could, you don't wanna plan and plan.
Right.
Just to help them develop a roadmap.
Yeah.
I think Darcy has kind of led this, but I think she's kind of frustrated and needs some support. So if anybody in this room or on our steering committee can help her, just to
I just volunteered.
give them some bullets of how to start, or like you said, shepherd them. I think that Darcy would really appreciate that, and I think you go into Darcy's store quite frequently, so maybe you could pop in and say hi. Yeah.
I'm getting it from both sides.
You raised your hand, you saw it coming.
I'll think about it.
Okay. No, but I think those are great ideas, and I think somebody needs to help them along the way, shepherd them. I love that word. Because I think that's where they're at right now, is they're frustrated. They don't know what direction to go, and maybe they just need that little oomph. I mean, just a small win will probably make them feel a lot more supported.
It's just the singles.
Yeah, we also have some new businesses that may not be aware of
Right.
what's available. Thinking about the salon across the street. She's a brand new business owner, and she may not be aware that this group exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other thing I keep thinking about is in most retail complexes, the major retailer, in our case, is Ace Hardware, and they carry a lot of weight, and they have a lot of marketing potential that they garner from different resources. But there might be a way to somehow marry a Swanton promo. I'm just saying that in many, well, I said what I was gonna say.
Siobhan, did you have something to add?
I went to the downtown business meeting that you all had right before Christmas. And you had that gentleman from advertising with the TV, and then, wanna say Linda?
Laura Bow.
Have you guys like reached out to them again to like work with them?
We
Downtown
can't,
business?
I can't answer that.
No, I was asking Molly.
Yeah, no, I think Darcy would probably have to answer that.
Molly set it up and introduced them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'd have to see about all that, but it's getting to Kirsten's question, or
Kirsten.
thought.
She's gonna be like, I'm never coming back here. No, just kidding.
No, she's not. No, she's not. She's a doer. At any rate, good suggestions. But I think that's a really good idea. And you could start with one project, this little, let's get a proposal together and let's bring it forward and see what happens. And you have some agency. If you're on the steering committee of SEP, you're saying that SEP is inviting a proposal from your organization. You all work, many of you work for nonprofits. If some organization came to you and said, we're inviting a proposal, you would darn well put something together, probably, and be willing to work on it. So if you're willing to do that, that would be wonderful, but would understand that. Anyway, good idea overall, though, to invite a proposal, yes?
Absolutely.
No?
So,
So thumbs up. Okay, good.
so could somebody write up just a paragraph or something to bring to these people when we're going to speak with them?
No, I think I think you don't want to direct, or I think what you want to know is what do they see as their need. You-
That's the kind of thing I'm looking for.
I think what you want to see is they're putting their heads together and they're having a conversation. That's what one would hope for. And,
Let it be really organic that way.
yeah, that right?
Yep.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. Good. You're good at this stuff. Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So we just want to take the opportunity to welcome our newly elected officials to our municipality. And, you know, I'm glad that you could show up this evening and kind of see all the doers in the room, and how this is the one meeting every few months that we kind of all come together and share how awesome Swanton is. So if you would like to take this opportunity just to introduce yourselves, that would be great. So David, you want to start?
Okay. I'm David Winchester. I've lived here for quite a bit of time. I think most of you know me. I'm a pretty big advocate for One Swanton and everybody working together to help one another. Quite some time. You've probably even seen the artwork or some of the public projects I've advocated for. And I do have a few ideas, and I'll talk about those later. They're a little more global and a little more, but would definitely have a real impact on downtown, I think.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Susie Messier Kelleher. I've lived here since 1980. I don't really know what to say about myself. Just I'm a newly elected village trustee. Woo. Yay.
Fantastic. And the gift of service is a fantastic gift.
We have one more.
Thank you.
Joel, it's your turn.
I know nobody here knows me, but I was appointed in January to fill a vacancy and was reelected on town meeting day to the Swanton Select Board. So I'm looking forward to serving the community of Swanton in that capacity for at least another year.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
And I'm Nicole Draper. I was also reelected this year to continue to sit on the Swanton Select Board.
Awesome.
And I'm happy to be here.
And Nick, was your new position or?
No, I was appointed to it,
Okay.
I guess. And
All right.
Someone, I'm actually surprised I have a challenger, so I won it. So that's cool. I ran for trustee of public money.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you.
Trustee of what, Jason? I'm sorry.
Trustee of public money.
Well,
So yeah, money's in
that's
a.
quite a title.
Yeah. So money's in a. We don't meet too often. If the town needs to use money in a trust, we would approve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Did I miss anybody? No? Okay. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you all.
So now we're gonna move on to the most important part of our meeting, is our community chair and stakeholder reports. We still have not heard anything from MVSD, so we don't have a representative for them still. So,
I'm working on it.
is there anybody here from the Arts Council?
I'll do the other.
There is a new, I reached out to Megan again, but it was just recently, there's not Megan Conley for the Swanton School Board. She was really busy before, which is why she hasn't been involved. I don't know if that's changed, but there is a new elected Swanton School Board, Stephanie Gagne.
Okay.
So I, told Megan that I wanted to ask her if she wanted to first, and if not, then we'll ask the next member, and then from there, we can just ask Julie Reginbald, the superintendent, at least to just get something printed off and sent
Yeah.
to add to our minutes or something.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
you
lot
don't,
going on there, and we're missing out on the details.
and you don't always need to be present. You can just
Yeah.
send something to one of us, and we're happy to share whatever you bring. You send us.
Has there been a formal letter submitted to the superintendent's office for consideration? I mean, When something lands on somebody's desk, they tend to read it, you know.
I think that Molly's family. A formal letter, that's a great idea. Yeah, I can probably draft something and put it together for them to formally invite them. Well, so they always were represented here through Terry O'Shea. And when Terry stepped down, she asked someone to come in, but maybe we need to formally invite them, you're right.
On that note, they have put out a survey asking the community why we voted down their budget. So if you haven't seen that, and you'd like to fill that out, or it hasn't come to your email box, please email me and I can happily send it along if anybody wants to share their input.
I was gonna tell them though that like when I tried to take the survey, it wanted me to sign into my Google, which made it more difficult for me to take the survey because I didn't know my password. It's saved into my phone.
Oh.
So that might be a hindrance for them when they get results because a lot of people are gonna be like, I don't want you saving your information.
I will have it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Abby, you wanted to report on the Arts Council?
Yes, so the Arts Council just got a sizable grant for free art programming in Swanton. We're starting to get some programs going, some like here in the library. We also, for the first time in a long time, have people outside of our big organizations signing up to teach some free classes in Swanton, which is really exciting. We've got like a wide variety. We've got some painting stuff, we've got some crafty stuff, we've got like food prep stuff, so we're really excited about this.
Is that kind of similar to the grant they got last year where
Yeah,
they
it's the
had all
same
those?
grant, but
Oh, nice.
Every year they've been giving us a little more because they like what we're doing, so.
Yeah, that was great. Thanks. And for more information about that,
So if you want to, well, we have a newsletter, so if you'd like
Okay.
to sign up for the Arts Council newsletter, you can let me know and I can add you to the list.
you might as well move into the library. You're next.
Moving on. The library is hosting a bunch of Arts Council classes and also really heavily prepping for summer. We're going to be offering 4 full-day free camps here at the library this year, which is crazy and also very exciting. So that's our main. Oh, and we're gonna need a website, which should be live next week.
Oh, wow,
Which
nice.
is also really exciting. A much more user-friendly website. Those are our big things.
Cool.
I can speak on behalf of SPAN.
Okay.
So we'll be completing the beach improvements for the
Oh, she
murals.
didn't, she was just taking the minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
No problem.
She didn't know what you said.
SPAN, which is Swan Public Art Network, which is the other half of the Arts Council.
Okay, bye, thank you. She might want to take a leak.
Molly.
You want your phone?
And is that your jacket?
You're not sneaking out, Molly.
We see you.
Nice try, Molly. Hi, family.
They just arrived
That's
from
awesome.
Tennessee.
Nice.
Welcome to Swanton.
Sorry, David, go
Oh,
ahead.
no problem, no problem. So I don't know, some people have noticed it took a very long time to complete our murals down at the beach. We have a little bit left to do, and eventually in springtime we'll do something to dedicate that. And I think there's something we're working on in Northern Gateway with you guys for something by the BFW. So
Oh, yes.
talk about that. Joel could probably share more
Yep.
about that, because he probably knows more about it than I do. So those are a couple things that we got to make Swanton.
Those are actually very delightful additions to Swanton. We get a lot of great compliments about them.
And a bunch more Eclipse murals.
And
Just
there's a bunch of Eclipse murals going up this week.
Nice.
So there's 3 more sitting down in my studio
Yeah,
that people finished up in the last couple of weeks.
nice. Thank you for reporting out on that. Oh, Swanton Rec.
Okay, that's me. So spring is sprung and we are gearing up for Little League. Little League will start soon, probably the beginning of April. We'll run to June. You can find a Little League schedule posted on our Facebook and or our website. We encourage the community to come out and watch all of our young athletes participate and enjoy our concession stand. Spring track and field is also, registration is open. That will begin in the beginning of April. If you have a young person interested in track and field, we encourage you to sign up. Other things to look forward to, summer. We are so excited for summer because we are going to offer 6 weeks of summer camp. We are able to provide 1 week of free camp in June. Then we will provide camp all throughout the month of July, and these are full days. And then we are collaborating with MVSD to offer 1 week of half-day programming in August. So that way we can meet all the buckets of everybody in the community. We are also really excited that our youth football program is growing. They are the Northwest Valley Ducks. We are going to be able to have football for grades 1 through grade 8, which is going to be a great feeder program for Missisquoi Valley Union High School. We are also working on offering some athletic clinics, both football and field hockey will join the summer roster, as well as tennis down at Marble Mill for both youth and adults. More information about that will be on our website soon. Hunter's Ed is coming back. Registration opens on March 25th. Class will be in April, so we encourage anybody who would like their young person, young or old actually, to get certified for their orange card to pick up a workbook in our office and register to attend the class. We've been doing it now for a couple of years. We absolutely love it. Been working on offering some more babysitting classes to the community. We have turned 18 young people into skillful babysitters this year so far. We look forward to offering more opportunities. I'm partnering with Enosburg Rec and we'll be going up there to offer it to their community. But we will have another one here in May. Teen nights will be happening soon because the weather is getting nicer, but we are offering teen leadership opportunities. So if you have any young person in between the age of 12 to 15 that's looking to build upon their leadership opportunities, send them my direction. We are also going to help support the community yard sale this year, which will happen later in May. We are really excited to partner with the Abenaki and to bring the powwow back. Put on your calendars now, Corn Fest will be August 10th. We are really, really excited about that. Other things to look forward to, Sarah Tanner does Zumba here in the library. Her hours may change a little bit. We're looking to offer an earlier class and then she'll have one day that will be a later class. You can find that information on our website. But we are really excited now to offer co-ed softball. Registration is now open for adults on our website. Also, keep in mind that if you're looking to play pickleball at Marble Mill, check out the Playtime Scheduler app. And as the weather gets nicer, we have kayaks, inflatable paddle boards, as well as life jackets for the community to borrow. We have disc golf baskets that are portable, as well as fishing poles and yard games that we love to share with our community. And then if you're looking to for sponsorship opportunities for your business, or if you love recreation and you're looking to sponsor a camper for summer camp, there is a sponsorship link on our website. We encourage everyone to, if they're able to check that out. And we also have a focus survey because we want to hear from the public what more they'd like to see from us. I think that's all I have.
Sweet.
Great report.
Sounds fun.
And if you haven't gotten my March newsletter and you'd like to, please feel free to email me and I'll send it along.
Nick, Historical Society.
Not too much to report with the Historical Society, other than the fact that we're going to try to get the museum open in early May and hopefully get some programming coming up soon. It's also, again, not too much to report with them. I can also do some stuff about the chamber.
Yeah, I just noticed I didn't have the chamber on here,
I
but go ahead. They usually are.
Yeah. When it comes to chamber, Easter in the park will be March 30th at 9. Recommending folks get there by 8:45 because it usually goes pretty quickly. We'll have a food truck there this year from Minnie's Mini Domies.
Oh, nice.
And so that should be fun. And we have another event coming up, which is going to be held here at Swanton Public Library April 24th in this very room from 10 to 12. We're doing a digital marketing seminar with WCX, some folks there. So we're basically going to be going over different ways to improve digital marketing for small businesses. So I've been helping organize that with someone named Tamar. Some people may know the name Tamar Bouchard, who's a local justice of the peace in town. So she works at WCX, and we'll hopefully have some interesting PowerPoints and videos going on. So that should be fun.
All right. So if people can't attend that, will there be resources to share? Or could you ask them maybe? Because I know some of the businesses probably won't be able to attend because of it. I know the timing's not your fault. It's just the timing that they had available to do it.
That's it. I know they're not videoing it, but it's possible we might be like, there we go.
Siobhan could do it. Maybe. Or
Yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
What time of day is it?
Wednesday from 10 to 12.
that would be great. That way we could actually
that's perfect.
share
No
it.
classes, no kids, they're in school.
Sweet.
Also, one exciting thing to mention from the chamber, their Citizen of the Year.
Yes, Citizen of the Year. That was Scampers, Madeline Dunbar.
Yeah. Great. Good for her. She's been here a long time.
She has been.
She's still plugging away.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, we had a pretty nice dinner like a couple weeks back, and it was she was very happy.
Good. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks for that.
Brian's not here. Who wants to report for the town?
I'll jump in on that. So town meeting day, as we talked about, we elected some new officers. We had our reorganization meeting the day after. I am now the chair of the select board, so that'll add to my duties. We were very happy that all articles passed, so that was a very good thing. The last thing we want to do is start out the year having to look at doing some revote focuses for 2024. One of them is, as a board, we're very interested in economic development for the success of Swanton out in what we call the Southern Growth District, which has been very slow for development, but that's over by Tractor Supply up in that area off 207. The state of Vermont is building a district garage there, and so they are improving Shoalin Road. And we've also heard that the Vermont Army National Guard is looking to put 2 armories there, consolidate the Swanton and St. Albans Armory. It's a long project, 5 to 7 years at least, but that also would improve that area. And as we improve the road and stuff, we look toward water, getting the water out there and stuff to help make that a place that is more marketable for growth. We still have some ARPA funds to take care of and make sure they are properly spent. One thing we're going to focus on 2024 is an inventory of the town facilities and develop a 15-year plan on upkeep and maintenance. Community and rec is one that the select board is going to work very close with your organization, another hat that you wear, and improving the rec and community space. Long-term, ideally, is the large facility that was looked at. Short-term is doing some things with the existing facility and improving spaces for both community and rec opportunities. The town plan has been finalized. They're now looking at the bylaws and updating the bylaws. That'll take place over the course of this year. The LVRT trailhead, I received the final design just a couple days ago. We're reviewing that. We have the environmental documents complete. Hopefully June, July timeframe, we go out for bids and construction start late summer on that project. Not a real large project, so it should be completed this fall. And that's
Great.
right on Robin Hood, and that'll be something that'll help bring people into the Swanton area. Part of the discussion earlier about maps of what's available in Swanton, there will be a big kiosk. On one side of it is a map that's mandated by the state. On the back side, it'll be a lock and key panel, and we can put stuff on the back side of that. So as folks are talking about that type of map, what's available in Swanton when you get off that trailhead, then that's something we can put on that kiosk.
Nice.
And to echo on that, Northwest Regional Planning has resources to help build a business trail directory like they did for St. Albans with the Missisquoi Valley Rail Trail. So they're waiting for the trailhead before we get started, or we've started. But before
Is that a paper, it goes on the kiosk?
it will go on the kiosk, but also be available digitally.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll kind of help with one of our downtown business.
And then we will control what goes on the back side of the panel. So if that map has some info, but we have other stuff to help the downtown, then that's definitely what we want to take advantage of and use it for.
Great. Sweet.
Can I ask a question?
You sure can, Siobhan.
St. Albans Messenger put out some post talking about the armory coming into the south part of Swanton. Is that like a done deal, or is it working on it, or?
It's like one of the #1 projects for the Vermont Army National Guard. It's military construction money, so they're working to get that. So it's a project. They have to get the money, they have to design it. They're looking at a 40-acre parcel there. It's a very large facility, up to 200 people on a drill weekend, about 8 full-time employees, so that it's.
I saw the meeting where they presented it. It was a really good
Right.
presentation.
Yes.
I wasn't sure how much further was
It's
going.
not a done deal until Congress appropriates the money, but it's one they're
When it gets put out by
working.
the messenger, then people start like, woo, and then there's the negatives and the positives and all that, so.
Yes.
I'm just curious where it was online there.
Yeah, it's in what I would call the programming stage. Once you get the money through the program, and then they'll go into the design and construction.
Well, the village has the floor.
We have nothing. I'm joking. A side note on the rail trail, this really has a chance to draw in a number of people. It's not like every day, but every week or two, I get emails from people that are from out of state asking about long-term parking
Yep.
at the complex. And of course, it's a green light.
Yep.
And they're there specifically for the rail trail and the entire length of the rail trail. So that's encouraging. Let's limit it to like 4 things, because I know I'm always on the clock with the chair. She's really adamant about that. Just some timeline updates. We have confirmation that the wastewater project is a go. We're at 90% complete. We are a go in April or May, and it lasts 455 days. So I'll save you the math. It completes in December of 2025 if it's on time. Remember, bond authority, $8 million. We just secured the last $800,000 from the state of Vermont through Heidi. I believe we're gonna have to borrow around $5 million. So that's pretty good. So the tax implication or the fee implication of 56 cents a day. In all likelihood, if there's a 1-month delay, that'll be in 2027. That's when you'll see that impact for our users. So that's a good thing. Welcome our new members to the trustees. They had a nice 2-hour tour of wastewater today and Foundry Street Station, so they're drinking from the fire hose, and they got to see what that's all about.
You guys
Nice.
haven't had a chance to see the municipal poo barn.
Yes.
I recommend.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, anybody, I'm fascinated by it, and I've been around for 16 months. It's pretty cool.
It actually is really technically quite impressive.
The bridge, the bid opening is next Wednesday at 10 o'clock. So although there's no direct correlation, it's encouraging. When you go on McFarland Johnson's site, 11 independent firms have downloaded the materials. What's that mean? Absolutely nothing. But if we even get a handful of bids, competitive bids, that's a good thing. So we will know a lot more where we stand and the financial implications next Wednesday. The river crossing update as of today is the directional borer folks, and they gotta go first, are not available till at least June, and that's fine. Just get through walleye season, because we're gonna restrict that Foundry Street boat launch. So that's probably the best news of all. Still on time for complete project completion by the fall of this year.
Sweet.
You may have heard that we had a very close vote on the bond, 444 to 130. It withstood the recount. That's a joke. We got smoked, 70%. We hear the voters loud and clear, so now it's time to determine what the next moves are. We know that the root cause of why we were trying to do it still exists, and that's that we're bursting at the seams in the facility, and we have a woefully inadequate police department space. The likely next steps, and probably the only feasible next steps, are to explore free of cost for now, whether or not the electric department moving over there with all of the admin staff that are in that wing when you walk in is a viable option, and then explore whether or not we can retrofit that existing space that's that electric leaves along with customer service into a police department that will work for the next 50 years. And I believe that we likely can. That's all I have. There's a lot more, but 2 minutes is up.
Do David or Suzanne have anything to add?
No, that's
Okay.
great.
Does anybody have any questions? All right. Hank, beautification, the money man.
Yeah, well, we were fortunate to get one very nice donation that we have to spend over 10 years. We can't spend it all. That's why the number looks bigger than what we can use in a given year. I've worked in another job for 23 years, and it was involved traveling around the state, and I think I visited and got to know people in almost every municipality in Vermont. What a privilege that is. But one of the things that I noticed, if you go into any organization or a community, even a business, there's a certain spirit that you feel being there. You feel it in a community. In Vermont, Swanton has a high spirit. I mean, people gather, we get together, we support each other. There's a good feeling. A vote goes down. Yeah, okay, we'll work on it, and we'll do what we can to improve the city, the town. We're in the second year of a 7-year plan, and if you'd like a copy, let me know, to greatly enhance the beauty of Swanton with an abundance of flowers, street-side trees, and other plantings. Talking about spirit, if you go into someone's house, if there are flowers on the table and there's flowers in the yard, you feel good about it, and that's part of what we're trying to do, create a spirit of welcome, and I'm glad to live here. And flowers, trees, a tree canopy along our streets are all part of that. So our goals are to build 2 new street side flower beds every year. This year we're focusing on Veterans Park, the town office building, and the village office building, making some improvements there. 10 trees each year. We have, at last count, 25 citizen volunteers on our committee. Susie is one of the newer ones, and we're just so excited to get things done. Each year is going to make the village look that much better. Green Up Day is on May 4th, and talk about cooperation, helpfulness. Abby has put together an online list of all the streets in the village and town in alphabetical order. And we're inviting people this year who would want to do a certain street to simply get online, put their name on it, and check the streets that you are going to clean up. So that makes things a whole lot easier. So that's the report. Thank you so much for all your support, not only financially, but hats off to the village, Dean Ryan in particular and his crew. They've done a great job for us. Thank you.
And Susie has created a map that she can hand out to people
For the village streets.
the village streets.
Yes, thanks for
A
mentioning
hardcover copy. It's a good one.
Color coded.
Right.
Military planning at its finest.
Thank you, Hank.
You're welcome.
All right. So Crystal, you can help the community.
Sure. So we have been working with the library and helping to think about summer programming for young people. So my organization is going to be sub-granting some money. And then also working with Nicole, doing some recruitment for youth leaders in the community. And my organization is holding a Junior Teen Institute, which will be open to all youth 5th through 8th grade in Franklin and Grand Isle counties. And then also we've opened it up to Chittenden County youth as well. And then that's just a 3-day weekend crash course on some soft leadership skills. And then we'll be holding our Summer Teen Institute, which is at the end of June, and that will be open for high school students, so incoming freshmen through 12th grade, and that's where we kind of really dig into how youth can make an impact in their communities. So working with Nicole to try to recruit some Swanton kiddos. We have several young people from Swanton that will be staffing at both of these events. And then we tasked our young people with creating an event for the eclipse. We gave them a very loose budget and said, whatever you guys want to do, we'll support you in doing. And so we have a vibrant group of 3 young ladies that have been in the process of planning something they're calling the Solar Soiree. It will occur on the Sunday evening before the eclipse. In the Bliss Room at the St. Albans Museum. They are doing a neon carnival and opening it up to young people from all over Franklin County. So this will be a safe and substance-free space for young people when there's a whole lot of events that are happening, and several of them are centered around alcohol celebrations. So this particular event will be a safe space for young people to be while we have many, many, many people coming into our community. And it is totally youth planned with a little bit of guidance from Nicole and myself. So that's really exciting. And they'll be selling tickets. Tickets should be going on sale very quickly, I think. We just had to finalize a couple of things with the museum. And so tickets will be going on sale, and this will be a fundraiser event for the youth programming for Swanton Rec and the Vermont Teen Institute.
Great. So, Ron, you have a question?
I'd like to compliment whoever is responsible for the wonderful job they've done cleaning up the space. It's really, it's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Which space?
The space.
Thank you.
Siobhan, communications.
So our last communications committee meeting we had, there was like a conflict of interest with a bunch of people. Shane Mott joined the committee too. He had to present at Highgate. Nicole's always busy. Abigail was there because she's the host, or otherwise she probably would have enjoyed being done early. If I can, I'd like to just talk about the outdoor market. I know Nicole and I have chatted about it, and I did it last year, all the 5 events last year, and it was not very popular. The weather wasn't good for us. Other events happened. There was a time where St. Albans rescheduled one of their markets, and it was rescheduled on our day. Since then, I've thought that what would be best is if I started talking to all the different market managers in the different areas, and then create like a master list of vendors. And if we focus on what the vendors need and what works best for them, and us not stepping on each other's toes, that would be a good way to improve our markets, because the last one, not a lot of people showed up, like 4 vendors showed up at the other market, and we can't blame them because they're trying to run a business and make money, and if we don't have the people come out, it's that catch-22 conundrum. You know, we don't have the businesses, people aren't coming out, people don't come out, the businesses don't wanna come out. It was brought to my attention that municipalities put money aside for community events, sometimes.
Well, I don't know.
From a town perspective, it's part of the annual budget. If someone asks for something, we don't have a large amount of money we're sitting on for 2024.
I had heard a number like 5,000, like they put aside 5,000 for community events, or I have to figure out where that, somebody sent it to me, I talked to a lot of people, and I don't always bring a notebook, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that and get back to you.
But, so Nicole and I were discussing what day would work best. This would be something we discuss more, but I wanna throw it out here so we can all think about it too. You know, Sunday seems to be, the third Sunday still seems to be best.
Yep.
I don't know that Swanton markets, you know, at this point this year, it's gonna get that big. We also still make sure we don't have pizza there. I talked to all the businesses about when we come back next year, if they were able to, maybe this is something SEP can support them with, but maybe if they were able to get signs, that say, you know, pizza this way, you know, bees on Broadway that way we keep our paths open, make it walkable, that way people still wanna go to those businesses. But another thing is, if we do these markets, Nicole and I talked about this too, maybe not doing 5 markets, maybe just doing 3, June, July, August, and like the center of summer. May, you know, it's hit or miss, September, you know, it's hit or miss. And it's the beginning of school or whatever, and maybe like that's a better way to focus that way. The June market, and this is something, it's ironic, I watched this Swanton Village meeting, and they mentioned the car show, this with the chamber, but our June market is Father's Day. So I was talking to Nicole before, about like, can we do another car show in Swanton, like make a little event or something, add a little something into our events. You know, because we have to create things for people who want to come and.
Don't you normally do the food trucks?
Yeah, we do the food trucks.
Oh, okay.
They haven't been a big enough draw to bring people out.
Yeah. Okay.
And so one of the reasons why we're here talking about it with this group is because we're all the stakeholders and we really want some feedback and input on what that's gonna look like. I do have vendors already reaching out, and I told them, you know, we're still developing, you know, what that's gonna look like, and I'm hoping to get something out to them by April 1st, because I know their time is booking up as well. But one of the, you know, Darcy had started these kind of events to help, you know, boost economic growth in the downtown. From my understanding, none of the businesses feel like that it's offering them any support. So we carried it on last year to continue to offer that resource to the community. But like Siobhan said, we had struggles with weather, we had struggles with other communities rescheduling their events to our days, and their events were much larger than we were. So, you know, if we were to continue to bring those back, you know, I think making more, you know, of a celebration day, or making it a community wide event, is gonna help make it more successful. And I have reached out to the chamber to discuss what music will look like in the park this year. Is that something that I think the community has enjoyed in the past and would like to see return? The Arts Council has money for that.
Reach out to the Arts Council, we've got some money for.
Definitely food trucks. The National Night Out event is incredibly successful, and that's something that I, you know, would wish to replicate every month, but it's hard for just me. So, you know, what do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see it return? Do you think the outdoor market is something that is viable for Swanton? It does take a lot of work, and it, you know, this year it's Siobhan and I, so does anybody want to help if we want to see it come back?
So what are you hearing from the vendors that were here last year? Like, are they feeling like it was successful enough for them to come back. Okay, so
No.
you're saying no. So maybe just try to tap into what's already happening in Swanton and invite them to come if they choose.
Or what about changing the format up a little bit, or the days? I think that weekends are sometimes really difficult. I know that like a lot of people leave for camping and stuff like that. What if you know, when I think about other communities that have done something that are, you know, some things that are really successful, like Music on the Green that Williston does, and they do a whole area of food trucks with a music, but they do it on a weeknight. So what if you're thinking about like a Monday night when a lot of restaurants are closed, that may bring people, because then they have an option for food trucks and then a musical event. Or I've seen a lot of people that have commented on the community pages that they miss things like Battle of the Bands, where we used to, I mean, when we've done Battle of the Bands in past years, the square was filled with people, and I recognize that that's part of the parade or the summer festival or something like that, but those old events are things that people reminisce about and they wish would come back.
I also think it'd be nice to have something for the kids going on at that time too. It's nice to, I think part of the success of the National Night Out is that the parents can listen to the band, talk to community partners, but their kids are busy. They basically don't have to watch their kids.
Yeah, they get a
They're
bounce
doing
house
something.
and different things for it.
Yeah, there are some nice key events. That's probably best just to kind of emphasize. Father's Day weekend is usually the LCI.
Yes.
So it's very hard to compete with that unless we can figure out something to do with the fishing access or something on Foundry Street.
Did you say LCI?
Yeah.
Lake Champlain
Lake
International.
Champlain.
Oh, okay.
So that brings in a lot of folks from everywhere. But for fathers and kids, usually they're not thinking about land-based things to do that weekend.
Hank?
In lieu of food trucks, what about inviting those enterprises that are in the village or in the town who provide food, sell food? I know of 3 pizza places, Cody's Diner, we got the ice cream place on North River Street. If you work with them, could they provide something special at a reduced price and get their name out there and be part of the community?
Yeah, that's
a
a
little
good
bit
idea.
more than an outside food truck might do.
Yeah.
Well, they have options to like come and set up booths at the market, but they'd have to have the equipment to do that and then
Right.
stuff,
Sometimes
et cetera.
it's the
And
lack of
that's-
staff.
Yeah.
I can tell you that like for the ice cream shops, they don't have enough staff to be able to come and set up an additional and still run their business. And that's happening pretty much everywhere.
I don't know if that was helpful to you both. I mean, being it's March, people have probably already booked their spaces at markets.
I'm still getting plethoras of emails regularly.
People are posting, asking about the yard sale too. and-
Yeah,
so,
I would just
um,
tap in on like big events
But does that
and
make
see if
sense
they
though
would
to
come.
everybody if we just cut, May and September, and then we just focus on those 3 and see
Yeah, absolutely.
what we can do? Maybe not car show, I don't know if cars and fish, they're gonna have to fight over that and it'll be hard to decide.
You know, it seems like the pizza places that'd be an easy thing to have a trailer or something, and they've just already cooked them, and you just have warm slices to sell at the
True.
event.
They actually have a hot box thing, we have electricity. They
Yeah,
just set up a table and.
yeah. And I don't know about the ice cream place, but you gotta focus thousands of people walking through in one spot, and if they could be enjoying something at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
Seems like a win-win. I know they have some food trucks usually show up for the event,
yeah.
but if some of the local ones wanted to try to figure out how to focus.
Crystal, I like your idea of Monday night. We've been wanting to have food someplace on a Monday night.
And there's no
couple of
place.
times. No place.
So.
Yeah.
I don't think any other markets do a Monday, so the thing about St. Albans Bay is Thursday, and that's a
Yeah.
huge one. And the Saturdays and alternating Sundays have been Taylor Park, so.
Michelle?
It's really
Oh,
nice.
sorry. No, Michelle had her hand up.
Enosburg does have
A Monday?
bands in the park on Monday.
On Monday
It's like
nights?
like June, July, and August.
Okay.
And there are food trucks there, and there are some vendors.
That's good to know. But I agree, weekends are tough. I mean, people are heading out to go camping or home for the weekend. So I find it hard to come back on a Sunday on the week during the summer.
I agree, it's nice on a weekday when you're already out, already
Yeah.
doing stuff, to just stop on your way home from work or after your kid's softball game or whatever.
Yeah.
We've been doing 10 a.m. to 2, obviously, because it's a Sunday, but like we switch it to like, we'll have to talk more about this.
I think that may also be part of the problem because you're missing a whole group of people. Like, we go to church from 10 to noon. So
Well, we figured 12 o'clock, you're out, and then I got like the face painters set up for noon. You know what I mean? Noon to 2 that time, and
Yeah.
you'll get out of church and we're right there.
maybe.
Well, it gets you going. Do you have anything else? Because we're gonna move on to Debbie.
No, go ahead.
All right, Debbie's here with,
Well, thanks for having us here tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about a lot of programs that we have going on. I think that you really need to take advantage of them. They are free of charge. We're doing beading with TK, who is a master beader in our tribal office, and that is once a month. And she's also doing loom beading as well. We had an incredible, we have actually a grant that's called the Rural Pilots Grant, which helps mental illness and just different ways to keep you healthy. We did have a burnout workshop, and actually I think Felicia Coda met with you guys last week, and
Yes.
we've been doing a lot with her, who is just a ball of fire, creative heart. So we did the burnout, which was just wonderful. It was about burnout in the office place. And it just wasn't about burnout in the office place. We got a lot out of it. It was just about our team bonding was great, and in different, situations in life. So this grant is great. It started in like February, and we've got events all the way through the end of October. So please be sure to look at our events that these are happening. And again, there's no charge. So starting on, just for a quick one, Monday the 25th at our studio, it's an Elders Art Studio class for artwork. It's from 9:30 till 11:30. It's more a fellowship, coffee, tea, the snack is served, and all the products are purchased on these grants. So you may be painting watercolors or acrylic. Each time is something different. There's also going to be wood burning and lots of things. So on the 16th, Saturday the 16th, there's a mom's creative group, which is children and moms, and that's 8:30 till 10. On Saturday, April 13th, there's an adult art studio from 10 until noon, and then there's the children's from 1 till 3. On Elders on the 15th, 9:30 till 11:30, and also on the 29th. We also have basket making that's coming. Our new chief, it's really important to her outcome for our people and our community. So we have a master basket maker by the name of Carrie Wood, who is coming to the tribal office on April 6th. It begins at 10 o'clock. And you will be making a traditional Abnaki black ash basket. There's 2 workshops, one on the 4th and one on the 20th. One class will make a pencil basket, the next one will make a candy basket. It's limited space, just call the office, to take part in it. We also are having ribbon skirts, which had to be canceled due to a family emergency, which will be making skirts for the powwow. I think it'd be great for all of you to maybe piggyback with our powwow, because I'm sure we're going to have a lot of people. That is, again, the weekend of the 25th and 26th, which will be professional dancers, drummers, Black Hawk singers. Lots and lots of great things are going on. We have blood pressure. If you need to check your blood pressure, come on into the office. Food pantry is the numbers are skyrocketing. 4 grants we wrote last week, we got all 4, thank God. I'm waiting for 2 large grants. Been working really closely with Hunger Free Vermont and made friends with the executive director, Nora Horton, who kind of felt bad for me and let one of her staff write a couple grants for me last week, which was really great because we had like 10 grants that needed to be in, and they did one for me, which was huge. So this is a number, 6,185 clients we fed last year, which is 1,885 families. So you have to understand, we survive solely on grants and donations. So I welcome you all to our tribal office. Come up, take a peek, and we thank the town of Swanton for their support, because it's the first time that I think that we've ever been on the ballot for funding, and we greatly appreciate it.
If you haven't seen the food pantry, take 10 minutes to stop. We started pre-COVID. We were in a closet. Literally, our food pantry was a closet. And throughout COVID, we began to serve so many families that food pantry has expanded to the entire back room of that office building. And so the number of folks that we're not serving just Swanton folks. We're serving people from across the county, and we're no barrier. So if folks come in, we're going to find a way to help them.
Exactly. I'm really super excited because Liz Curry just wrote a very large grant for us, and we're hoping to hear by the beginning of April. And this grant will support a walk-in cooler freezer for us, which is just going to be unbelievable because we're using 17 to 19 freezers, refrigerators, and you all know what the cost to run those. So we should be knowing by that. We also are looking, actually our back building is kind of pretty much on hold because our front office is in dire need of repairs. I mean, the roof, the rafters, the concrete, the blocking. So this large grant that we did receive, they are allowing us to use that on our front building. We just kind of looked at it and thought, it's hard to support the front building. How are we possibly going to support the back? So that's just been really great. One of my biggest things is, and I think it could happen, is mileage. We pay our volunteers mileage because we need to, because it's a cost to pick up food as part of the Feeding America program. So last year my mileage was $6,700. That's an absorbent amount when mileage was 0.655. Now it's 0.67. We go to Costco's on Mondays and Fridays. We do Price Chopper Tuesdays and Fridays. We do Maple Fields Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do General Dollar twice a week. We do Food City once a month. We do St. Albans Hannaford Saturdays and Sundays, so those miles add up. So I'm in the process of looking for a grant to support a vehicle for us to be able to pick up those food, and then someone will be paid a stipend to do that. So that's going to be a big saving, and hopefully that's going to happen like really soon. Do you have any questions for me that what we're doing, or curious about anything going on?
Doing a lot.
We're doing a lot.
Big
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
One recommendation, reach out to Mike and Diane, M&T Transportation, and see if they have something they could help you guys with.
Well, I think I got something this morning.
Oh, you did?
And they're gonna do a big press release, I think. I have to be quiet, it's just killing me, but.
There you go.
I got it, I think. But yeah, so there's a lot of great things. I'm really enjoying my new venture. It's good. It's a great place, and we're doing a lot of good for the community.
Great. Demi, is it possible for you to release a list of like your critical need items for the food pantry, like at least like once a week on the?
Sure.
That'd be great.
I would do that. Thank you. Cereal is huge. I'll be very honest.
You did say that. And you said macaroni the last time we talked.
Yes, and macaronis and stuff. Yeah.
Snack things for kids.
Snack things are huge. What's been really trying for us is the state of Vermont has housed a lot of folks in the motel, and you give them a can, good, and if they don't have a can opener.
Right.
So we went and purchased a bunch of can openers. You don't even think about things like this.
No.
So they don't have pots and pans. They don't have. So we provided dishes with covers. plastic forks, spoons and stuff. One thing that we're not really supposed to do, we can't prepare food because we aren't licensed to do that, but we pick up the big meals at Costco's, be it mac and cheese or whatever, and I've been taking them home and cooking them, and we use our oven and we heat them, and we give them to the folks at the hotel and give them little trays. Probably we're not, but who's gonna say, you know, we can't do this? They need to eat, you know, you can't just give them, they only have a small microwave, a single cup coffee pot, and that's all they have.
Which hotels are these?
That's the Swanton Hotel, just up the road from us. And there's a young mom there with 3 children. So how does she feed those young kids?
Wow.
And I mean, we couldn't understand, I'm just like, what do you mean? They didn't even have a can opener. So you don't think of simple things like that. There's no pots, pans. It's pretty sad. And they're just dropped off. They're picked up. One guy from Newport knows no one. Nothing but the clothes on his back. He's dropped off. He doesn't know any. He doesn't know. So we've been lots of homeless people coming into the office.
Yep.
So I'll check in with you and see, you know, after 64 years of marriage, I've got more of everything or anything anybody ever needed. So.
I'm trying to get rid of Ron.
That sounded positive to me. That's love.
That's what's going on. You know, everything's going we're very busy, very busy. We're doing 21 to 25 families a day. Not by the month anymore, a day.
Wow.
So it's tough. At our hunger council meeting, which I go to, when they looked at my numbers, they were blown away because we had the highest number of anyone in our Franklin County and above.
And that's a 5-year growth, like exponential growth.
Yeah.
Do you
How
have
many
to
days a
schedule?
week? I'm sorry.
Do you have to schedule time slots, or is it just?
We've had to do that.
Yeah.
We may have to call in, and we are doing times because, you know, we have 2 part-times
Right.
and we have a handful of volunteers. And then we have trucks come in, and with Feeding America, we have to weigh everything and record everything.
Okay.
So when Costco's comes, it's a lot, that's all I'm gonna say. And, you know, you have to weigh it and document it, and then I have to record it, and then I have to report it weekly to the Vermont. It's a lot, yeah, we like them, but we don't turn anyone, if someone comes, we're gonna take care of them.
Yeah. And there's no holidays.
And there's no holidays.
There's no holidays.
Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day, we're there.
Yeah.
Gee, aren't you glad you retired and took on a job, full-time and a half a job?
Dickie and I said, oh, it's 3 to 4 hours a week, Debbie. That's 3 to 4 hours before I even get to work. And working, you know, it's like,
Thank you so much, Debbie, for
I'm
all
glad
you
to be
do.
part of an amazing team. And it's not me, it's a team.
Sure you
There's no
guys-
I in this team, and we all work really hard.
Sounds like you need a kitchen and a
What's that?
dining room.
Kitchen and the dining
Kirsten
room.
had something sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's along the same lines as Bill's question. How many days a week are you open?
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 until 2.
And outside of Martha's Kitchen, is that the most open, I don't know if the right word is?
Probably, yes, because say for
You have the
example.
most hours a week there.
St. Anne's is like one morning a week, 9 till noon. Alberg Food Pantry is Saturday mornings, 11 till noon or 1. Grand Isle, they're kind of a hit or miss. St. Albans, they're a little more.
St. Albans is a little more, but service-wise, I think we're serving more people at this
You're
point.
still serving more, yeah.
That's what I was getting at. So-
Yeah.
Wow.
And Pathways, the organization Pathways, they also come, like this one gal, like yesterday, she did like 6 orders for 6 different clients. For people that may be just experiencing homelessness, people that need help, so.
And some of the food shelves do have, there are barriers, there are income guidelines, and there are some things that we obviously have to follow those same income guidelines, but we were very, very intentional when, and I say I ended up doing Debbie's role for a while. We were very intentional about making sure that the food shelf was a no barrier food shelf. And we wanted to reduce the stigma of folks asking for help. And so We changed the policies, we changed the procedures, we changed we completely changed the way that we were doing things so that people felt like they could come in the doors without shame. And I think that's one of the reasons that we've been so successful is because we have worked really hard at destigmatizing asking for help.
Two things that are really important, the dignity of our client and the safety of our food. It's two of our number one things. But we have a great team, for sure.
All right, great. Such amazing stuff we're doing in Swanton. Was there any other comments? No? So our next meeting is May 2nd. Okay. So again, thanks everybody for coming. Oh,
I have
Joel.
more. Is there Circle of Courage update?
No, she's not present.
No.
Also, I'll let everybody know, because the conversation last time about the transportation, public transit and all that, if people are available, March 27th, 11 a.m. till it's like an hour and a half. Amy Brewer,
Franklin Randall Tobacco Prevention Coalition.
yeah, and all those
Healthy Roots.
hundreds of other hats.
Yeah.
It's the next steps in transportation conversation.
Where?
It's Zoom.
Oh,
or
okay.
Microsoft Team meetings or whatever, but
If you can share
I can
that.
make something and I can share it out, but
Okay.
I just sort of let people know if you're available, like, let's get in that conversation and talk about public transit and micro transit and improving
Walkability in communities.
transportation and all that stuff for Swanton and the surrounding areas. Also, I wanna do a personal shout out to, Debbie, and this committee, because since I've gotten here and got to know people, it's always great when I hear all the great things going on. And then because of these connections, I actually got Debbie to do a presentation for my college course.
Oh, yes, you did tell us that.
She did a really great job, like talking about food insecurity and all that stuff. It was
She
really
said
enlightening.
a half hour, 40 minutes, it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. It was very engaging, it was very enjoyable. And two other people have asked me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not a speaker by any means.
So you did amazing, you did a great job.
You're kind, you're just kind.
Joel, did you have something?
Well, I just think it's important that we answered Molly's first question, like what were the numbers after 3.14?
Oh.
So I had to look it up, it's 159. So if you could share that when you see it tonight. I thought it'd be a good way to end, but anyway.
Sandy?
So, we had talked about having someone come and speak to us about substance use
yes.
disorder. And we were talking about Melinda White.
Yep.
And a special event. I'm wondering, is anything happening with that?
So you were supposed to reach back out to her and find out when she was available, right?
She said she would make herself
Oh, okay.
available. She wanted to know what time she wanted.
Okay. Does she want to come to our May meeting or do you want more time?
So, Joel, you had thought that a special event might be the better way to go. Do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference. I think we got time if we have our planning meeting early in April.
Yep.
To really
Yeah.
publicize, to
Yeah.
try to get a venue, because a venue like this hopefully isn't gonna be big enough. And
Right.
that we,
Let's talk in a couple weeks. Well, we're gonna have to talk earlier to start planning it. We'll meet as an executive committee.
Yeah, and she's in Florida right now, so.
So, yeah, we can't talk to
Yeah,
her.
she's visiting her dad.
So why don't we talk at our executive meeting and start planning that out?
Okay, so
Okay.
you think it would be at our next, would it be in April or March?
I don't know. We'll have to
Okay.
kind
our
of.
planning meeting will be April. We usually
Yeah.
try to
Right,
meet
yeah.
a month
Our
prior.
planning
so
meeting,
we'll
yes.
set up a date and where we want to use the venue
Yeah.
and then how we're gonna advertise it.
We'll probably meet a little earlier because that might take a little longer to plan if that's
Yeah.
the route we're going,
First
so.
week of April, hopefully.
Yeah.
And-
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm also still looking at doing the Screenagers documentary at some point. Just have to figure out timing. So.
Anybody else? Oh, come on. I give Bill crap. You guys are really, I don't even know. I know we're way after 7.
We were gonna try and do it in unison. Disrespect. She's
It's-
way more organized.
Yeah.
So Nicole and I have been talking about the St. Albans Pool Pass and making it accessible to our community. And we were wondering if that is something SEP might be willing to sponsor in part. The library has some money to put towards it, but
So does the rec.
and so does the rec, but it just doesn't, it's not reasonable for either one of us to pay for it in full. And we were hoping, it's such an asset to this community for all ages. And all other communities around us have it available to their patrons of their libraries, and so we're hoping to do it here too. It is a little over $1,200 for the year for a family pass.
Now, does a family pass, how many can you?
It's 4 people.
4 people?
And they are really strict about that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
They have to be for number-wise because of the lifeguards, but I would, how much do you guys have right now and how much are you lacking?
I think they were looking for us to pay a portion of it, so if each
Yeah,
of
that's what
us
I'm trying to
paid
figure out how
a
much.
third, right?
I would propose using some of the substance misuse funding for that. Simply because we know that family time spent together and healthy, safe activities is something that promotes resiliency and asset building. So
I agree.
Split it in thirds.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I can do it this week.
We just have to kind of.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second.
Hank second.
Are we, so 400 is what we're saying, if it's
Yeah.
a third?
400.
It's a little over 1,200. It's not quite 1,300.
I mean, we haven't
Oh.
spent anything out of that for, so I would,
So we'll say a third.
a third of it. I'll make a motion that substance misuse committee or healthy communities pays for a third of that.
Yeah, it's a nice.
Hank seconded? Okay.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion
It's
carried.
Gratefully appreciated.
All right. I think that concludes our meeting. And now we get to eat pie. Or if you brought pie, take your pie home. And thanks again, everybody, for coming. Everybody's like, we're out of here.